haven't done a tag in a minute, but when I see one with the word weird in the title, I know it's right up my alley. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and my ever slowly evolving filming space. I just put a couple of things up in the background just so I didn't feel so empty and sad. I really hope to start unpacking stuff this weekend, but you know, life, all those things. But I do have some nightmare characters over there in our little wreath, and some scary teddy bears back here, but you know, for the holiday spirit. But what I wanted to do today was an AuthorTube writing tag. I haven't done one of these in a while, and quite frankly, I haven't been filming a lot of videos, so I thought this one seemed like fun and something that I could share and kind of share my weirdness. I'm all about sharing the weirdness because you guys know I'm a weird chick. So I thought this was really fun. When my friend Sylvia over from Sylvia from Write Your Life tagged me in this, I was like, yes, girl, this is right up my alley. I am a weird chick, so I'm going to do the Writers Are Weird tag. So this just has 10 quick questions. I will also include them in the description, and I'll tag a few of you, but any of you can really consider yourself tagged if you want to do this, because I really like doing writing tags. I think they're fun. I feel like they're a way to like tell people more about yourself, and I also like learning stuff about people by watching them too. So I really enjoyed watching Sylvia's. I will link her down in the description, her video, so you can check her out. And yeah, let's get going on those questions here. All right, question 1. Do you have bizarre internet searches? If so, what's the weirdest one? You know, I write contemporary, so I don't know that I write or that I do a lot of weird research. My first book series was speculative fiction. It dealt a lot with robotics. So at that time, I was searching a lot of stuff. There were some articles I was reading about like sex robots, and that's not what the book was about, but you know how you fall down the robotics rabbit hole, and there's all kinds of stuff like that. So that maybe was a little weird. Which sex robots are happening, guys. It's the future, okay? And then my current Beware of Monsters, probably, so my main character is an aspiring special effects artist, so I have looked up a lot of stuff like that. The love interest, his parents run a Scottish restaurant in the town, so I have been looking up Scottish meals and like modern versions of them. So I think I've said this in one of my tweets. If you don't follow me, I'll put my stuff down below somewhere in this area, where you had to say like 5 things, and one of the things for my book is haggis nachos. So yeah, I've looked up some weird stuff like that. And then also probably I did do a lot of research on scarring from slit throats, so I guess that would be kind of weird. All right, number 2. Do you write people you know and dislike into your story as villains or dumb people to kill off? Let me think about that. Yeah, I do. I'm so guilty of this, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna be like, no, girl, I'm so above it. No. There are people in my life that were horrible villains in my life, and I don't completely write them, but I definitely have them in mind for some of my characters, and I definitely use traits of theirs. And some of my characters are just maybe like named after them, like sort of, not the exact name. Some of them have like a trait from this person that was horrible and this person that was horrible. See, I grew up in a really small town outside Chicago where you knew a lot of people, and there was just a lot of people that were just horrible. My town only had 10,000 people, but we were like, my high school was 2 small towns that went together. That town had about 20,000 people, so it was very small. I mean, especially the 10,000 people town that I grew up in. So, you know, you just know people. You know people who, you know, their, all the generations, your parents know their parents and grandparents and their, you know, all that. So there are family rivalries and ultra villains. And then of course my ultra mega nemesis from college, but you know, that's another story. But yeah, all of these people do appear in my writing. It's catharsis, okay? So don't judge me. Number 3, does personal hygiene sometimes come second to writing? Yeah, to be honest, personal hygiene these days comes second to a lot of things. I am really like, and what I mean by that is I am just not like the best at self-care when stressed or when a lot is going on. So like as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, there's just been a lot going on in my family with, you know, hurricanes and moves and my husband's surgery and my mother-in-law's being in the hospital, and it's just been a lot. So I'm not always the best at taking care of myself during those times. So, you know, I have so many balls in the air, so many things I'm trying to do, and I will say that like self-care, hygiene, just general taking care of myself, getting a lot of sleep, that often comes second to a lot of things, to YouTube, to writing, to all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, definitely. Number 4, do you go on baby name websites to help you name your characters? Not really. I don't like typical names. I mean, I'm not someone who's gonna name my character Pilot Pen. Wink. But I do like ones that I feel like are a little different. So I kind of like, I also like the names to be associated with someone or something I know. Like, they're not gonna be random. I'm not gonna just be like, let me look at this thing. Oh, Julie, that's a cool name. Or like the meaning of words. I don't know. That's like a little, you know, so for example, my main character, Ivy, her dad is a huge Cubs fan. So, you know, if you know the Cubs, Ivy on the wall, it's a big deal, the Ivy at Wrigley Field. So that's where she's named after. So it's just stuff like that. So I like to pick names that are not super common, but they usually have a reason. So I'm not just gonna pick a random one. Now, what I do look up sometimes is last names, because I tend to choose ethnicities of my characters so that I can give them last names that are not like typical, like Jones, Smith, whatever. Like, I try to be realistic with their last names, especially like the area that they live in. Like, so like, for example, the area that that Beware of Monsters takes place is similar to the area where I grew up, and it was a lot of there were a lot of Indian families in that area. There were also a lot of Polish and French and Russian. And so I try to pick names that reflect that area. And I've lived a lot of areas, so I kind of have a general idea of that kind of stuff. So I do look up surnames for that kind of stuff. But I'm very purposeful in names. I can't just slap a name. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, that character's Tristan. Like, that doesn't work for me. So I'm very purposeful with it. Do you have a list of actors or actresses that would play your characters if there was an adaptation made? No, my characters are pretty different than, I would say, typical actors and actresses. My main character and the love interest are both plus size. Then the 3 of the other main characters are Indian American women. So I'm not saying that these actors or actresses don't exist. Like, obviously there are Indian American actresses, young actresses. Obviously there are plus size young actors and actresses, but there's not tons of them. And I wouldn't say like, oh, that's definitely who would play the character. I just, you know, I do have pictures though that I found from the internet that kind of resemble my characters. I put that in an earlier video, so if you haven't watched that yet and you want to see what my characters look like, I'll link that video up in the cards here. But yeah, if they were gonna make a movie, I really, hopefully they would go for some newer people, give some new people a chance, or maybe people that just haven't got as much, you know, screen time. So, but I can't think of any off the top of my head now. Number 6, have you ever stared at a stranger because they look like one of your characters? No, I've never come across that. What I will say though is I stare at people all the time because I'm weird like that. I find people fascinating. I eavesdrop like a MFer, not gonna lie about that. I listen to other people's conversations. I'm like one of those people who, like, I'll be looking at you, we'll be having a conversation, but I'm paying attention to this conversation over here, this conversation over here, and I'm watching what this guy's doing over here. I don't know, maybe that's the writer in me, maybe it's the weirdo in me, but I always am paying attention to what's going on. So I definitely stare at people, but not because they look like my characters. Number 7, do you talk to yourself to help work through scenes? If so, where do you talk to yourself? Oh my Lord. I talk to myself all the time. Ask anyone who knows me in real life. My brother, Kevin, my husband, my family. I am just, the way I think of it, I want to say that it's mostly thinking out loud, but now that I'm really thinking about it, I do actually talk to myself. So yeah. I think better when I hear things out loud. I've just always been like that. Like I always read my papers out loud. When I'm revising, I read the section out loud. I talk to cars when I'm driving. I talk to the TV when I'm watching it. I just talk to everything. I'm a talker. I'm a chatty Cathy. What can I say? So yeah, I definitely talk myself through scenes. I talk to my characters out loud. Yeah. So just know that I am a talker. All right, number 8. While writing, do you make the expressions your characters are making? No, I don't think. That's a weird question, even for a weird tag. I don't think so. Sometimes I'll make an expression if I'm trying to like figure out how to describe it. Maybe, but I don't think so. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to be paying attention the next time I write, which who knows when that's gonna be, because yeah, I'm not gonna out myself on how long it's been since I've done some legit writing. Number 9, do you ever practice answering interview questions in case you make it big? I don't think so. I've thought about this a little bit just because I've been to so many meet and greets where authors are asked questions. So sometimes I think about answers to questions I've heard authors like get asked, but I don't know that I've ever actually practiced those out loud. I practice a lot of things out loud though. Like, I mean, I already told you I talk to myself all the time. So like if I'm ever gonna have a conversation with someone and I know ahead of time, I often practice it out loud. I know a lot of people do that, so don't act like I'm crazy, okay? But I don't think I've ever like practiced for making it big. That seems, no, I have not done that. And then, okay, number 10, do you have a soundtrack and or playlist for your book or scenes for your book? Okay, so yes and no. So I don't listen to music when I write because it's too distracting, but I do like to listen to music to get me in the mood or that reminds me. I'm gonna actually pull up my playlist for Beware of Monsters. And so I like to listen to these songs, like, just like I said, to get like in the mood. And they kind of like encompass the vibe of the book, if you will. So some songs on there are Hometown by 21 Pilots. That's really, I feel like, a big part of like the theme, especially in the beginning of the book. Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi, I think, is a huge one. I would say that that kind of encompasses like the middle of the book. Trying to see, oh, The Weight of Living Part 1 and 2 by Bastille. I think those are really, really important to like the themes of the book and the themes of my main character. Also Survivor by Destiny's Child is a big one. So yeah, so those are just a few. Oh, Till It Happens to You by Lady Gaga. Even though I know that's specifically like about sexual trauma, and there's not sexual trauma in my book, I do think some of like the ideas that she's trying to get across in that really kind of like pull at some of the things in my book. And it's making my book sound so serious, but like the themes are really, I don't know, it's kind of strange. I've been thinking about this a lot with my book because Beware of Monsters is dealing with some really heavy themes and like heavy issues, but I'm writing it in sort of a light-ish way. Maybe, I don't know. I need someone else to read it. This is not a solicitation. I'm not even remotely close to being done with my next revision. I just, you know when you're just so close to something and you're just like, I don't even know anymore. That's how I feel about it. But I'm just like, I don't really know if like the tone is right, because I feel that's where I think the issue is that it's like heavy themes, but the tone may not be as heavy, but then I don't know if I want it to be as heavy. I don't know. I need feedback from people, so when that time comes, I'll let you know. But yeah, so those were the 10 authors are weird questions. I don't think that made me seem as weird as I actually truly am. So I guess that wasn't too bad, but I did enjoy it. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. And so yeah, I am going to tag my brother Kevin over at Kevlandia. I'm going to tag my girl Lizelle is it Lizelle Sansbury, right? I'll tag her, and then let's see who else. I will tag Jessica at Jessica Williamson. So I'll tag you three, but if anyone else wants to do it, do it. Say I tagged you, put me in the description. I don't mind. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this. This was kind of fun. I like doing tags every once in a while, and I definitely like watching people's. So, so yeah, any of these weird things that I do you do those? Let me know down in the comments so I don't feel so alone. I know y'all talk to yourself. Don't lie, okay? I know you do. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!